Hey girl, can we seriously talk?
Girl, come over. You already know it's time for real talk.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Seriously Girl Talk with your two fabulous hosts, Katie and Destiny. And today we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about friendships and friendships that we've experienced in a positive light and in a bad light. Yikes. And we're going to really get into it in this episode regarding friendships. And we've all had bad friendships. We've all had great friendships. And it's just nice. Like, I know Destiny and I have talked before about, like, our good friendships and our bad friendships and how we've encountered a lot of toxic friendships, but we're a friendship that's not really toxic. So it's nice.
Love that for us.
Mm-hmm.
So can I start off with a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So picture your best friend,
Okay.
the one who knows all of you. So I guess all your icky stuff, all your secrets, all your good stuff. And how did they go from just someone you knew to your person? And honestly, what would your world feel like if they weren't in it? So essentially, how did that friendship you're picturing go from just a person you knew to your BFF?
It's actually a funny story because I actually met my truest best friend, like my first real best friend in college. And our friendship started off like in a funny way. Like you're in college having a blast and smoking hookah was a thing, in college. And we lived in a dorm, so like you can't smoke in the dorm. And she would be like, "Can I pay you $8 to smoke hookah in your car?" And I was like, "Okay, like whatever, you know." And then she was like, "No, I'm gonna give you $20." And I was like, "It's okay, like, whatever it is, like, we can do it." And then we actually never smoked the hookah in my car. And our relationship started off from there. I'm picturing now, like, she has been there through, like, my breakups, my makeups, all the bad shit. And honestly, it's a person that I probably wouldn't even be able to live without, like, and she lives in the city. I live in New Jersey, so it does take some time for us to see each other. But like a phone call, a text message, she's always there no matter what. So I don't know. I don't know what it would be like to like not have her.
Oh, stop. Where are the napkins? That's sweet. I love that. So it sounds like she was there. Essentially, you allowed her to be there in vulnerable moments. So she saw you when you weren't all polished, and that kind of helped you guys grow, right?
Yeah,
Like part of it. And then also, like you said,
but I think it's also like who the person is, right? Like I'm an open book. However, like certain individuals get to see certain sides of me, and she's like a very like generous person. I've had friends where they would tell you like, you can't wear this, you can't do that, or like, I'm gonna do this, so you can't do that, you can't go there because I went there, and it's like, it was so toxic that like, I met my friend in college, like for her birthday, I was like, what do you want me to wear? And she was like, what are you talking about? Like, you wear whatever you want to wear, and I'm like, yeah, but it's your birthday, like you're the birthday star. And she's like, I don't care about all that stuff, like I just want you to be present for my birthday. And I was like hearing those words from her and experiencing all the other friends that I've had is just like, damn, this is what a real friend looks like, right? And because she's so like genuine, she doesn't try to control you or try to like manipulate any situation. Like she's a friend that she'll call you out on your bullshit, and it allows me to be more open, if that makes sense, So
yeah, no, that makes sense. That's great. I love that.
yeah. What about you?
I feel like so I can't envision because I would not say that I have a best friend if I'm being honest. Um I mean we're close, we're getting closer. So this is another thing too, right? It's like I feel like when people say they have a best friend, it always goes back to the longevity of the friendship, right? Like, oh, I've known her. Like a lot of people that I hear talking about their best friend is like, oh, I've known her since we were two. I've known her since we were. And then I just feel like, is that like, does that have to be a criteria for a friendship? You know what I mean? Because if that's the case, I haven't had I feel like a lot of the friendships I have and I hold very dearly have been now in adulthood, like that I've met in the counseling program, right? Like in my late 20s, entering 30s now, like you being one of them, right? So I don't have friendships from when in my childhood that have, grown. I mean, okay, I should say this. I have people that I still connect with, right? But I think like my friend, that's a big word. Like my friend, you know what I mean? Like I don't call anyone my friend, and I think that's the thing. I've always felt like friendships were super serious to me, like super super serious. And I don't know if that's like a bad thing or a good thing. I really don't know, but I know that I haven't really felt like I've met the most solid people to really be like, oh, that's my friend since I was 2 years old. you know?
No, I
Like,
100% agree with you. Like, honestly, I've had so many friends growing up, and not like friends as in like 100 friends, right? But like friends, best friends, right? And it's like as you grow up, I feel like there isn't a specific amount of time that you needed to know a person. Like you get to learn like what a true friend is, right? Like someone that's there for you during the bad times, someone that calls you out on your BS, a person that like doesn't judge you. We're all human beings. You can't say that I'm supposed to live this way. And it's like a lot of our childhood friends typically like you grow up with them, but they never say things that are like supposed to be said, you know? So, or, they are just not friends that are supposed to be friends. And.
Right, like there's different, like that's something that my mom kind of taught me, like not I'm not gonna throw my mom under the bus, but that is something my mom brought to my attention, essentially being like, hey, Destiny, there's different types of friends or different types of people for different situations, right? Like I'm not gonna tell everyone I consider a friend or an acquaintance my business.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can't, although we have a great time when we're together, you treat me very well. However, I know that you're the New York Times. Like, so I can't tell you my business. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but then those are not your friends. Those are just people you hang out with.
But they may be like your friend. Like, they may show up for you. They just like cheese man, for example. So it's like that could be your friend, but that's not a friend that you can tell your business to. There's a friend that you could go to the club with, for example, or there's a friend that you would bring around. That's where I was trying to go with it, with what is defined as a friend then? Like what really is a friend?
Yeah, okay.
You feel me?
I understand, but to circle back, right? I feel like damn. You left me speechless.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that's always been my thing. I've always felt like that person that I call my friend has to fulfill all of those things. I have to be able to go to the club with you. I have to be able to tell you my deepest darkest secret. I have to be able to bring you around my family. Like you have to be well-rounded in everything, in every aspect. And I don't think that's realistic. I think we have friends for different things, and that's okay.
Yes, but I wouldn't necessarily call them my friend. I will call them an acquaintance. But because I feel like friend. Damn, we should search up what the definition of a friend is.
An acquaintance is someone you just bypasses, essentially greet.
I don't know. I feel like a friend. I mean, personally, everybody that I talk to probably knows some of my darkest secrets, you know? Like, I wouldn't call you my friend if I can't share what I'm going through. And certain things don't need to be spread to everybody, you know? Like,
Right.
but I feel like I have individuals that I can do stuff with, and then I have, you know, individuals that are my true friend. And like, if I'm going through a problem, I will call them up and be like, this is what I'm going through. I don't know what to do. Can you give me your perspective? And I feel like those are my friends. It's like, you know, like I tell you like a lot of my stuff, all right? Like personal stuff. I will call you my friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Same.
like
Oh.
the other individuals, I don't tell them about my personal life, stuff that's going on in my family, you know? Like I feel like those are people that I just hang out with to have a good time. But I wouldn't call them my friend.
All right, so I guess you're right, because for clarity, an acquaintance based on ChatGPT essentially.
ChatGPT,
Right.
our bestie.
An acquaintance is someone you know casually, like a colleague or someone you see through a mutual hobby, but the relationship is surface level with little trust or emotional investment. A friend is someone you have a deeper, more trusting bond with, involving mutual support, emotional connection, and a willingness to be there for each other through difficult times. Okay, so I guess you're right. Like, you use the word acquaintance in the correct context. So
Yeah.
you're right. Because when I hear acquaintance, I think of coworker solely, right? Because a friend, if you dissect that, a friend is someone you have a deep connection with, emotional connection, willingness to be there for each other through difficult time. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. But I guess really then my point is, it's just hard to find something like that. You know, I don't think it's easy to find friendship.
No. And I also think, like, you know, I mean, off the bat, I don't open up crazy to like every individual, you know?
Right.
And I think that's very important because you want to see the type of person that they are first before you let them in. Because then the last thing you want is, damn, this person is really not a friend, and I shared so much about me that now I regret it, you know?
Right. So what do you think makes a positive or healthy friendship?
Well, I think personally, trust, right? Knowing that you can share certain information with an individual and that they're not going to spread it, right? Like someone that just loves to talk and gossip, someone that's genuinely like happy for you and genuinely a good person, right? And typically you'll see it like a lot of genuine people, it's showing in a different light, I feel like, because you're not only going to see them be genuine with you, but you're going to see them be genuine with someone else, you know, in the sense of like they sacrifice a certain thing for another individual so that they can be happy. You know, it's like, damn, like you're doing that for somebody else. That shows your true, genuine self. You know, I feel like also you want to have a friend that can be honest with you and doesn't sugarcoat anything, because if you're sugarcoating everything, how am I supposed to like know certain things are not good or even grow from our own friendship, right? Like for example, like my best friend, like I'll call her on like a situation, you know, like maybe a boy trouble or whatever, and she'll be like, you know, Katie, actually, like you're seeing this the wrong way, maybe acting a little crazy, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, like maybe I am, you know. So I think those are all important things.
Yeah, so definitely helping you be level headed. Like I resonate with that one. I think that's important. But two for me that I didn't hear you mention that I think are very important are like the ability to respect boundaries, because a lot of times I feel when someone thinks they're your friend or your best friend, they have complete access to you. And I don't think that it's like that, right? Because we're still our own individual human beings. So like, and I think it's just the idea of usually a boundary, people associate that with no. And like people don't like to hear the word no. So especially when that person's close to you. So it's like let's say I tell you something, which I don't think we have this problem, thankfully, and we're that's why I like counselor friends because we have this training and this mindfulness, but it's not so common. Like it almost seems like common sense, but it's not. But just like if I have set a boundary, for example, with you, and you feel like I'm just telling you no, and then that causes beef between us, right? But like, bro, it's not beef. It's like that's just my boundary. You know what I mean? Like, so being able to respect that, and sometimes I've had difficulties with that. Like, someone has tried to put a boundary on me, and I'm like, oof, like, I don't like how that feels, really, but I'm able to quickly recognize that and be like, okay, well, that's healthy because I can't have complete access to anyone. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and boundaries in a friendship is a healthy trait.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even sometimes like you're going through something and maybe right then and there you don't want to share it with the individual. They have to respect it and not keep pushing what's going on, what's going on, what's going on.
Right.
Because sometimes it feels like you're just fishing for
Right.
information, and it's like, no, I'm good. Like
Right.
when I'm ready to talk about it, I'll be ready to talk about it. So
Right. Yeah. And also, reciprocity, I think, is a huge one. And that's something that I've learned to be better at because I'm going to be honest. I think part of the reason why I never had close friendships is because I wasn't a good friend myself. Like, I'm just being straight up, like I was not reciprocal in friendships, and that's something that I've learned growing up, now being an older individual, like through experiences, through again, I always revert back to like the counseling program I was in because that has opened up so much doors
you see
and
things in a different light.
Yeah, like so different, right? So I think that being reciprocal, right? Oh, with us, right? Like I drove to your house and you're like, oh, I'll go to your house this time. Like, like that little things that you don't realize that's important because no one ever wants to feel like they're carrying the whole weight of anything. Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why a lot of like friendships fail because it's like it's always one person calling, texting, let's do this, let's do that. Like, and I've been in the end of it, I guess I would say, like where I'm the one that's like calling, hey, let's do this, let's do that, how are you, long time. And then after a while I'm just like, I can't be the only one that's putting 100% and you're putting 0,
Right.
and I feel like that's why a lot of my friendships have failed is because I was the only one like, oh, let's hang out, oh, how are you doing, especially like when I went into college. A lot of like my childhood friends I haven't spoken to because I was the only one messaging people, or like even people that I grew up like family friends. It's like we allow certain situations to affect our friendships, and it's like that's an outside thing. Like what we have shouldn't impact that unless it's like somebody was talking bad about our like family or whatever,
But that's a boundary. Like, don't talk about my mama.
Yeah, So it's like those are things that are like I can see why friendships end. It's always just one person. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. And sometimes it's okay to be like, honestly, thank you for like reaching out and trying to do this, but I'm not in the mood or in the headspace to do something. And a good friend would be like, oh, hey, no worries. So it's like communication works both ways. Like so.
It almost mirrors a lot of like any relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like those basic qualities or like I don't know how you would say like factors that to make a healthy relationship.
Wow, a healthy relationship starts off with a good friendship. So
that's true too. Not the
No, I'm
wig.
just kidding. But no, like
You're
seriously, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's why a lot of like relationships that are successful, like they start off as friends from the bat, and it's like that's so cute, you know?
Yeah. Oh, why friendships matter? I'm gonna ask you that.
Why friendships matter?
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, it all ties into like mental health, you know, like
Facts.
having a friend that you can talk to, you can release a lot of like emotions, baggage that you have. Not saying that you're adding on to a friend's problem, but you know, like helping them helping you see things from a different light, right? Giving you like a different perspective. I also feel like it can be an outlet to like whatever you're going through. Like maybe you need a friend to go out drinking or bowling or party at the club, you know, or even just go out for coffee. And, you know, sometimes it's a good coping method, you know,
I agree.
to do that. You know, I also feel like there's a word for it that I can't think of it right now, but it's like tied in with your brain where I think it's dopamine, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Where like
The happy
hormone, like that's when it's like most released when you're around like people that you love and you care about, you know? Like today we've been laughing so much that like dopamine has been released like nonstop, you know? So it's like friendships matter for a lot of different reasons, like mental health, your actual physical appearance, you know, in a sense of your body like working, not how you physically look, you know. And it also an emotional state of reassurance and stability, you know. So yeah, why do you think friendships matter?
I mean, you said a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I talk, you know, seriously.
Certified yapper. No, I agree with everything you said for sure. Like, I think, but I do want to read this. Like, don't hate me. But okay, because this thing did stick out to me for real. Like, it hit home for me.
Okay, read it.
Okay, so according to the American Psychological Association, it's quoted from there, people who have friends and close confidants are more satisfied with their lives and less likely to suffer from depression. They're also less likely to die from all causes, including heart problems and a range of chronic diseases. So
I touched up on that.
I'm literally said that. I know. And that's crazy, right? I thought that was crazy in a good way.
In a good way.
But like it's crazy how impactful, you know, friendships are. And I think that just goes to us being humans and like human beings just desire connection, period. Like I don't care about the person that says they're the biggest introvert ever. Like you're introverted, cool, yeah, you're shy, you don't mess with everybody probably, but you still want your own connection or your own bubble of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they might be introvert in the sense of in a large group or at work, but you know, like I feel like we all have at least one friend that we can count on and hang out, whether that's an actual like college friend, a childhood friend, your partner, even your mom or a sibling, you know, like we all have at least one person that we can turn to and chat it up.
Yeah, no, and like you said, so you mentioned like your partner or your sibling, and a lot of these other relationships are rooted from a friendship, right? Like your man, right? Like you guys were friends, or even your sibling. You get to know your sibling, and you establish. I mean, they're your sibling before they're your friend, because like you don't have a choice. But, you know, like you.
Well, I'm gonna choose if I don't want to be a sister. Okay,
right?
It might be by blood, but you know, I can cut you off.
No, that's a fact. So people do make that decision. So it's like if they don't have the friendship part, right? Like, so that's interesting. And then another thing that was said in there was like, fortunately, research also suggests from that same website that friendships can be made and maintained at any age. Relationships with friends can strengthen or stand in for romantic relationships, and even minimal social interactions can be powerful. So it's like, wow, you don't even need a man for real. You just need a whole bunch of friends.
And I think that's where like I'm gonna, bring in my shows knowledge, right? But I think that's also where like Friends stems from. Like Friends, they're all friends, but in a weird way, they all built a connection to turn it into a relationship.
Oh, the TV show Friends?
Yeah. So same thing with I'm watching How to Get not I keep saying How to Get Away with Murder.
That's a good show.
That's a good show, yeah. But I'm watching How I Met Your Mother, and like Marshall and Lily met in college, right? And then Ted was roommates, so they became their own friendship. And then later on, as they got older, Ted met Barney at a bar or whatever the case may be, and it's like now he's looped into their friendship group, and then Ted started talking to Robin, like in a relationship, and then it didn't work out, but they're still all friends together,
That's pretty
and
cool.
it's nice to see like how a lot of the TV shows play a lot of like what we go through in real life, and I feel like that's why I'm a big TV show head, is because I love the connection and seeing like growth and change, because I reflect on my life on it as well, so it's just like at any age experience a friendship. Just think about like when you go to work, right? I think about my retail experience, where it's like I've met so many of my friends through retail, right? Through my retail jobs, or I met so many of my friends because of my college time, right? Or currently now in like my position where I've built all these friendships, right? You, Lucy, Karina, like like at any stage in life, like the more you get to talk and know people is the more you get to build on friendships, and now you have a group. Like I could probably have like, maybe like 15 friends now that I can invite to my wedding,
Yes.
So it's just nice to see,
So that's the part that stuck out to me too from that research thing, was that you can establish friendships at any age. And that, I think that's beautiful because um, like now I've learned how to become a better friend. I'm obviously always still learning, right? Evolving, but I feel like I've learned how to become a better friend, and that's why I've been able to make friends, right? And like actually maintain the friendships. So yeah, and also what I just read made me think of literally before you got here, I was watching a reel, right? And then the girl was like, "This is a day in my life as a 39, almost 40-year-old with no husband, no kids, something like that." And she also said, no. She said, "This is a day in the life of a 39, soon to be 40 corporate girl with no kids and no husband." Right? So, like, that is her kind of being like defiant in society, right? Because society kind of expects women to just pop babies out and get married, right? Like, in a nutshell. And so she's kind of defying those norms, right? Like going against those norms. And she was saying in that reel, a day in her life, she met up with some of her friends. She was like, "I'm very happy and blah, blah, blah." And sometimes people ask me if I'm not fulfilled. And she basically was going against that idea and saying like she is very fulfilled and happy in her life. And she's like, "I have people such as my friends," and they also popped up in the reel, "that help me find meaning in my life and offer me fulfillment." So I was like, wow, that's so beautiful, because like you don't have to have kids or a husband to feel fulfilled or have a purposeful life. You could literally find it within yourself. I'm sure her career is also helping her find that, and also like the people she keeps in her circle, which are her close friends. So I thought that was beautiful, and it's a thing, like it can happen. And some people do that and it works for them. And
yeah, I feel like there is a lot of expectations in life, and yes, certain things there should be expectations, but at the same time, like we just need to live life how we want to live life, and not judge others by how they're living it, whether they have friends or not,
right.
and yeah, but everybody loves to give their opinion on how you live your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Just don't tell me, because I don't care. Seriously though.
No, I hear you. So I invite the community. You guessed it, you
Our
guys.
community.
I think we have to come up with a name for our community. That would be hard though.
Drop some ideas down.
Yeah, that would be fire. That we'll be more connected that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you guys want to drop like any stories that you guys encountered with friends that we can kind of talk about and get
Or
perspective
you want
on.
to slide in our DMs because you don't want to like share who you truly are in our comments. I
Yeah.
feel like, if you want to do it through DM too, like
Yeah. Or email, like we'll have our email on our page too, so you could email the statement, comment, what have you, to the email. And regardless, just like if you slide in the DM, yeah, we'll see your page, right? See your face, possibly your name, but we'll just create an alias for you.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're gonna say who it was.
we're gonna say user 529.
I like that. So yeah. And we're gonna close out with a quirky question because like why the hell not? Right?
Let's go for it.
Okay, let's see. Oh, can it be what was your favorite childhood game? Does that relate to friendship?
Damn, I don't even know. I liked Monopoly a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, but I never had friends to play.
Oh
So
my God.
it would just like I would go to my babysitter and she'd be like, I have Monopoly, I know how you like it, and I'll be like, yeah. Who am I playing with? Myself?
Dang, the babysitter didn't step up to the plate. That's crazy. I liked Life, Simpsons edition specifically.
I didn't start playing Life till I was probably like maybe in high school.
I probably should not have been playing that at the age that I was playing. Because they give you cards like, oh, you just got 2 kids. And then I was putting like the 2 kids in the car. Like that's probably why I started Life mad fucking early. Like I had no business playing that. But
well, Life foreshadowed your life. No?
Yes, that's what I said. But okay, thank you guys for joining us for another episode. We had so much fun dissecting friendship. If there's something again that you think we missed, please add to the conversation. We love perspective, so please offer that. And stay tuned for the next one.
Yes. Bye.
Real talk. I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Seriously, until next time.
And like,
yeah!